As I already said, a patent is a territorial title. If you want to file a patent application, you have three possibilities: a national way, a European way, and an international way. Let's have a look at the national way. You may file a patent application in a single state, for instance in Italy, or in France, or in Japan. A national patent office will examine your patent application and, if the invention is considered meeting some criteria, like novelty and inventive step, the National Patent Office will grant you a patent valid in the territory of the state. In Italy, there is the Ufficio Italiano Brevetti e Marchi, in the USA, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, in Germany, the Deutsches Patentum Markenamt, in Japan, the Japan Patent Office. Let's have a look at the European way. The European Patent Convention, signed in 1973, established the European Patent Organization, comprising the European Patent Office, whose aim is granting European patents valid in all the contracting states, which comprise states of the European Union and others like Turkey, Switzerland, and Norway. The European Patent Convention establishes a unified grant procedure for granting a European patent. After the grant, the European patent must be validated in every single state in which the owner wants to have a patent, not necessarily all the contracting states. This may imply the filing of a translation in the national languages and the payment of validation and maintenance fees. However, it does not imply a further exam because the patent was granted centrally by the European Patent Office. So, after granting, a European patent splits into a plurality of national patents. The European Patent Convention is an open system, so an American or a Chinese applicant wishing to protect their invention in one or more European Patent Convention contracting states can file a European patent application. According to the European, the international, and most of the national procedures, the patent application is published or made available to the public 18 months after its priority date to make everybody aware of the existence of a patent protection on the invention and also to make the teaching of the description available to the public and encourage the technical progress. A patent application can also be published before, if the applicant so requires, in order to obtain a provisional protection and to be entitled to act against a supposed infringer. If you have a patent and somebody is producing or selling your invention without your permission, you may start a legal suit to have your rights recognized and stop the infringement. You can start a legal suit also if your patent application has not been granted yet, provided that it has been published or notified to the presumed infringer. The sentence of the court will be issued after the patent has been granted, and it will normally be limited to the territory of the state in which it was issued. So, for instance, if you have a patent in Italy and in France, and you want to stop an infringement in both countries, you have to start two different legal suits, one in Italy and one in France. The European Union is working on a unitary patent, a single title which will be valid in all the member states. In order to protect his invention against an infringement in the European Union, the owner of a unitary patent will have to sue the infringer only in front of the Unitary Patent Court, which will have national branches. Let's now have a look at the international way. The Patent Cooperation Treaty, PCT, signed in Washington in 1970, establishes a union comprising almost all nations of the world, having the following aims. First, to simplify and render more economical the obtainment of protection of inventions in several countries. Second, to improve access by the public to patent information. Third, to assist the economic development of the developing countries by improving the national patent system and facilitate access to modern technology. The PCT is administered by the World International Patent Organization, based in Geneva, Switzerland. A patent application filed under the PCT is normally referred to as an international application. The PCT does not grant patents, but draws up a search aimed at discovering relevant prior art documents by means of several international searching authorities. The European Patent Office is one of these international searching authorities. The result of this search is of great importance to understand if the claimed invention can be considered new and inventive. The applicant may request an international preliminary examination to obtain a non-binding opinion on whether the claimed invention appears to be novel, to involve an inventive step, and be susceptible of industrial application. Such examination can give the applicant a better idea on the patentability of his invention, but it is non-binding for other patent offices, and no international patent is granted. After the international phase, lasting 30 or 31 months from the date of priority, depending on the nation, the international application splits up into national or regional applications. For example, the applicant after the PCT international phase can decide to enter United States, Europe and China, where the American and the Chinese are national applications, while the European is a regional application, comprising more national applications. The applicant will have to face an examination procedure in front of all these national or regional patent offices. For China, the applicant will also need to file a translation in Chinese, while for United States and Europe, English can be a common language of the procedure. After the PCT international phase, the costs of the patenting procedure may increase significantly, depending on the number of nations in which protection is sought. The advantage of filing a PCT application is that the applicant can wait for a relatively long period before taking the important decision on where in the world to extend this patent application. This time period is precious for understanding the economic importance of the invention. The grant procedure may last several years and may require an amendment of the claims, but your invention is protected starting from the date of publication of your patent application, within the limits of the claims established by the grant procedure.